Mrs. Larimer, do not be offended. Do not be offended. But you look very nice. But do not be offended. Do not look very nice. You're welcome. I was talking to my guy. Yeah. Oh shoot! I left my sign. Out there. Huh? He says, I'm live. That means good morning. We are live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City again on this Wednesday. Wednesday means Chick-Fil-A day, and it is a hot day, too. It's a hot day for frosted lemonade or a peach milkshake or some of this great half and half or a full sweet or unsweetened tea, whichever way is your preference. And, again, it's all right here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We say good morning to you. This is show number 570. And they said it wouldn't work, and thanks to Appalachian Digital, it is working. And we want to say thanks again to my man Jeremiah Clark and Michael Smith from Appalachian Digital. We're going to be talking about those guys coming up here in a little while. But we are here today. We start our show, as always, by dedicating the show to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. And the verse of the day out of the book of Isaiah 12:2 says, I am your salvation, period. I am your salvation. That's a good time for him to walk in. I am your salvation. Trust in me and do not be afraid. I am your strength and your song. Isaiah 12:2. So that's how we're going to get it started. We always started with a Bible verse. Coming up, we're going to hear from Greg Salyer, the Major League Baseball update coming up next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're also going to be hearing from Tennessee coach Butch Jones, Virginia Tech coach Justin Fuente, West Virginia coach Dana Holgerson. All these guys are going to be coming along here in a few minutes. And also we're going to be hearing from Haley Wherry from First Priority. And so an organization that's getting the gospel into schools and getting the young men and young ladies saved with the gospel of the Lord Jesus. So that's what it's all about. Show number 570. They said it wouldn't work. And then also, before we go to the break, because you see him in camera, he's ready to roll. There's your BMS contest. Boom, hit it right there. Enter to win tickets to the Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, Food City 300 coming up in 16 nights from tonight, and also 2 weeks from tonight. It'll be the UNOH 200 and the Bush's Beans 150. And so we've got tickets, again, for those races as well. We'll give those away on Friday, August 11th. 7 states now that have signed on to say we want to win tickets, and those 7 states are, of course, Tennessee, West Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio, New York, Georgia, and Virginia. So those are the 7 states right now that, and I think there's an 8th state too. I think I read or saw where Kentucky's in there now too. So that's what we're doing, and we're excited about that. And all you got to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And again, first name, last name, town you're from, and email address. We destroyed the list afterwards. We don't mail it off to anybody or sell it off to anybody. So got that question, but no, we don't do that at all. Quick break. We'll come right back, and we've got him. He's ready to roll. He's our buddy Greg Salyer here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live from Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra-depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are live, of course, obviously, at Chick-fil-A in the Crossings in North Johnson City. And we're here again with our buddy, of course. That would be the one, the only, Greg Salyer with us again. So we say hello to him and hope all's well in your world. Everything good?
Hey, everything's going great, Tom.
Well, let's do this because you're not Jeff Bedard, and my apologies. I didn't get let's hit this right here. Jeremiah is probably, as we speak, freaking out right now going, what is he doing? But we're going to fix it because
it would be nice to be the founder and CEO of Blue Wizard, but that's not me.
No. So go ahead, jump in here and take off, and we'll fix this while you're talking. Thank you, Katie Buggs.
All right. Well, we had the trade deadline a couple days ago, and that's really what we got to talk about. The teams that got better, the teams that didn't do anything, the teams that maybe made some moves that were a little surprising. And, a couple of the guys that we thought might get moved that didn't, were Justin Verlander from the Tigers, Zach Britton from the Orioles, and Brad Hand from the Padres. Those guys stayed put. And, those were guys that we were talking about that possibly could get traded, and didn't happen. So, but teams made some moves. I think if you were to ask me who maybe did the most and maybe did the best in the thing, you have to look right at the Dodgers, I believe.
Oh, no question.
Picking up Yu Darvish, he can step right into Clayton Kershaw's spot until he gets back, and that's exactly what they were looking for. They picked up Tony Watson from the Pirates and Tony Cingrani from the Reds, guys that I have seen pitch in person numerous times, and a little surprised that they went kind of that route. But, they needed some bullpen help, and that's what they did. They went out and got guys that they felt like could help them.
Well, obviously the Cubs benefited, and you got to look at the Yankees, too. I mean, the Yankees.
It's Sonny Gray.
You'll get Sonny Gray, 11th hour pick, but the A's unload him. So Verlander didn't go anywhere because that $59 million price tag that somebody had to pick up. So you look at the Dodgers now. You got Yu Darvish. You got Clayton Kershaw when he comes back. You got Rich Hill. You got Alex Wood. I mean, if you get all four of those pieces going at the same time in the same direction, they're going to be pretty tough.
Absolutely.
Very tough.
Absolutely. I mean, how would you like to have to face those four guys in a best of seven series? Think about that. I mean, it's going to be over quick. I mean, I think they are the odds-on favorites at this point to win the World Series.
Well, Kershaw's on the shelf, but he is coming back.
Yeah, he'll be back.
You look at the Yankees getting Sonny Gray. They obviously went out and did better than their counterpart, the Red Sox. Red Sox got Nunez and got one other, and I've got it down here somewhere. But, yeah, I think the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Cubs, the ones that got the big checkbooks, are the ones that benefited, right?
Yeah, that appears to be how it worked out. Astros went out and got Francisco Liriano, and a guy that I have really been watching with a lot of interest the last couple of years, and has been traded at the deadline 2 or 3 times now. But they went out and did some things they felt like they needed to do, and the Red Sox did get Addison Reed. Now we've got to say they did do that. They did address a bullpen need that they have, but they paid a heavy price for him. Three really good prospects went to the Mets there for Addison Reed.
Well, another team, we're on to Greg Salyer, obviously on the screen, the Major League Baseball update. Coming up, Haley Wherry's going to join us coming up in a few minutes. Also, Karen Hubbs is going to be here to join us about a big event coming up, the Glow Race coming up on August 11th. Also, we're going to hear from Dana Holgerson, the head football coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers. We're going to hear a little bit later on from Butch Jones, the head coach of the Tennessee Vols, not happy with his quarterbacks in practice, and he was pretty adamant about that. And then we'll hear from Justin Fuente, the head coach of the Virginia Tech Hokies, who is platooning 3 quarterbacks this year: Josh Jackson, A.J. Bush, and Hendon Hooker, trying to get one of those to step up and be his man. So what's the coach do in preseason practice with three quarterbacks trying to settle on one? And we'll hear from Coach Fuente about that coming up here in a few minutes. The bullpen out of the Nationals. I mean, they went out and got, now they've got Ryan Matson, Sean Doolittle, Brandon Kinsler. So they kind of helped their cause for Dusty Baker. And I saw last night with Scherzer hit a home run, but then he left with neck spasm. So he's kind of iffy, I guess, when you have a pitcher leaving because of neck spasm. So is it's unusual. A lot of the big guns have gotten hurt this year, a lot of starting pitching.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot. And you got to wonder, how did that happen with Scherzer? Was it swinging the bat? And probably so, to have that type of injury. And the Nationals made a move that I think went way under the radar, but they released Chris Heisey as well. And somebody will pick him up. He's not been hitting for average this year at all, which he's never been a real high average guy, but still a lot of pop in his bat and a good clubhouse guy. I'd love to see him get picked up by somebody. I'd like for my team, the Reds, to go back and get him again.
Well, let's run down the scoreboard from last night. Speaking of the Reds, they beat Pittsburgh 9-1. Miami over Washington 7-6. Dodgers beat Atlanta 3-2. Milwaukee beat the Cardinals 3-2. And the Cardinals are like 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. They get a little momentum, then they start stumbling around. Cubs all over Arizona 16-4. I think you see the new Cubs since the All-Star break. Colorado beat the Mets 5-4. San Francisco over Oakland 10-4. The Angels beat Philadelphia 7-1. That's really not a surprise. And San Diego blanking Minnesota 3-0. All that again happening in the National League. In the American League, or is that all of them? No, didn't do the American League. Hello. Baltimore beat Kansas City 7-2. Detroit over the Yankees 4-3. Boston in a crazy game, 12-10 over Cleveland, the final there at Fenway. Seattle beat Texas 8-7. Tampa Bay over Houston 6-4. Toronto doubles up the White Sox 8-4. We'll run down the standings in a moment and the schedule coming up today. But again, losers in the trading deadline, again, in my 50-cent opinion, is the Astros. I mean, they did get Francisco Liriano, as you said. They'll probably use him out of the bullpen. But, you got McCullers is on he had in his 4 starts in July, his ERA was 9.64, so they were knocking him all over the ballpark. Dallas Keuchel. I always want to say Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel on the shelf. He's been on the disabled list for an extended stretch this year. McCullers is back on for the second time. So the Astros needing some starting pitching. They got Liriano coming out of the bullpen, but they didn't really help themselves, did they?
No, they really didn't. They were more quiet than I expected them to be. And maybe they just felt like that they could hang on with what they've got. Like you said, though, July wasn't good. And, where the Dodgers have kept up and have continued to put pressure on everyone else and have just run away with it. Houston has sort of come down to earth just a little bit. And, they're going to win their division. I think there's no doubt about that. But they didn't really help themselves at a time when they probably needed to.
You look at the Padres. Here's a team going nowhere fast. They had a guy that could go out and get him some players, some prospects, some guys, at least put them down on the farm, get them ready, using Brad Hand as trade bait. They didn't use anything with this guy. Lefty reliever. A lot of teams looking for a lefty, but I was very surprised they didn't do anything with Brad Hand to help themselves, not for this year, but for 2018.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that because, the Dodgers went out and got Cingrani, a left-handed reliever, who is not having a great year, has shown some games in which he has just been brilliant, but other games where he's been horrible. And they go out and get him, and you think, okay, did they even inquire with the Padres? Probably so. And maybe the asking price was a little too much. But, the Reds did well for Cingrani. I mean, to pick up Van Slyke, which, he'll probably end up at Louisville, at least for the time being. And but then this catcher that they picked up as well in that trade, Clementina, he's in the low minors now, but he's going to be a good prospect, I think, in the future, and somebody that I think we may be seeing in Cincinnati in 4 or 5 years.
Of course, sitting beside me is probably the biggest Reds fan in the Tri-Cities. So, having said that, were you surprised nobody went after Cozart, or he didn't want to go anywhere, or what's the scoop? Does he have a no-trade clause? What's the story on Cozart?
Now, there were two players that I expected to see something happen with the Reds, Cozart and Scott Feldman. I really thought somebody would pick up Feldman to make a run, but both those guys are on the disabled list. And I think that was enough to say, okay, we're probably not going to go there. Let's face it, the price for Cozart this year, okay, he's 31. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He'd be a rental, and I think the price was probably going to be a little high. The Reds were going to want something in return because if they didn't get what they wanted, I think they were just saying, okay, we'll re-sign him and we'll keep him there in the middle of our infield.
Got to brag on the old boy. He didn't know I was going to do this, but I can. It's my show. So last Sunday we had our Lord's Supper at the church. This man right here, I've been on this earth 50 plus years. It's the best explanation before the Lord's Supper of why we take the Lord's Supper, the attitude we're supposed to have, and everything in and around it. Because I think sometimes Baptist churches, the ones I've been in before, I think sometimes it's kind of check it off the list. Oh, it's time for the Lord's Supper. It shouldn't be that way, but sometimes I got that feeling. But Sunday, this man stepped up and showed us and told us, scripturally speaking, how it is serious and what the attitude we're supposed to have and everything about it. So I wanted to give him a little props. He didn't know I was going to do that, so he deserves it. It was good, very, very good, best I've heard. And I listen to him all the time. I still go back a couple nights a week and watch Adrian Rogers, who's been gone. Pretty incredible story. He's been dead, I think, 11 years. And I read where at least 25 to 30 people a week still get saved off his sermons. Yeah. He's been dead 11 years. So if you want to hear somebody can shuck the corn, get on the YouTube and type in Adrian Rogers and then Tony Evans and Charles Stanley and so David Jeremiah. But Hot Rod here, Commander Salyer gave me, for me anyway, the best explanation of why we do the Lord's Supper and what it's about. And you can go back on YouTube and watch it, thanks to Horace at Southwestern Baptist on YouTube.
Live stream.
I mean on live stream, not on YouTube, but on live stream. So anyway, wanted to get that in before, because he's got to go here in a minute. He's got some church duties he's got his shadow with him here today too, so they've got to eat and get going. So other trades, we've covered the trades pretty much. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, there was one real interesting thing happened at the trade deadline. The Cubs picked up Justin Wilson and Alex Avila from the Tigers. They gave up their number one prospect to do that, but did you realize that Al Avila is the general manager of the Tigers, who is Alex's dad? So he traded away his own son.
Wow. At
the trade deadline. That is the first time since 1968 that a GM has made a major league level trade involving his own son.
It'd be pretty tough to do.
Yeah.
It'd be like you trading Abigail or Hannah.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be hard.
It'd be really tough to do. You better believe it. Now with Noah, because Noah, we're trading Noah to. Okay, Noah, let me help you pack it overnight bag for you, big guy. No, I wouldn't do that. No.
Pack of ketchup and player to be named later, maybe.
You gotta love this guy, my man Noah, who's he's a preacher boy, as they call him. He's in seminary, good guy, and he's following Greg around. So yeah, that would be tough. Speaking of Detroit, Daniel Norris did long toss last night at 120 feet, which is I think the maximum you can do. And then after that, he'll go back into having a rehab start down in the minor leagues. And so now they're saying mid to late August should be the return, if everything goes right, for Daniel Norris into the starting rotation of Detroit. young man, of course, from right here in Johnson City. We're live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. What else you got going on?
Well, we talked about Justin Wilson going there to the Cubs, and a move that they made, I think, that came about because of that trade was they sent Justin Grimm to Iowa, another local boy from Bristol, Virginia. So, he's been sent down. He's been up and down a few times this year, and I don't think anyone expected that after pitching the World Series last year. But hopefully we'll see him back in the majors before too long. But with that restocked bullpen, I guess he was the odd man out.
Let's take a look at the standings. American League East, Boston with a half-game lead over the Yankees. Red Sox have won 2 in a row. Baltimore's caught fire. They've won 4 straight. They're trying to make a game out of it. They're 6 out. So Boston, Yankees a half game out, Tampa Bay 4 out, Baltimore 6 out. At the beginning of the season, I kind of went with Buck Showalter and the Orioles, kind of a team I wanted to follow, and to me they've been a huge disappointment, 52 and 54, but they're only 6 out. So does that mean they still have a chance?
Well, yeah, Mark Trumbo's on the disabled list right now, and they had to move J.J. Hardy from the 10-day to the 60-day disabled list as well. So he has a broken wrist, so that's been quite a blow to that team. And they, let's face it, they did go out and make a deal at the deadline. They they did something they felt like they needed to do, and hopefully they'll see it work out for them. I was trying to see exactly who it was they picked up, but not seeing it here in my notes. But they picked up a reliever, I believe. Oh, shortstop Tim Beckham from the Rays. Yeah, that was the move they made.
And Jeremy Hellickson.
Yes,
traded for him too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was probably a good move, and definitely because of the J.J. Hardy injury.
American League Central, Cleveland and Kansas City both have won 7 out of the last 10. Cleveland with a 2-game lead over the Royals and hanging around with the Minnesota Twins in the Central. In the West, it's Houston, of course, with a 22-game 69-37, 22 over 500, and they are 15 better than Seattle right now in the West. In the National League, Washington with a 13-game lead over Miami. Braves continue to slip. They've lost 6 in a row, 9 out of the last 10, so they're heading to the bottom. They're going to be down there with the Reds before it's all said and done. In the Central, he didn't like me to say that. In the Central, the Cubbies are 2.5 better than Milwaukee. Cardinals 5.5 back. You look at the Cardinals, you and I know what the Cardinals are capable of doing. I keep waiting for him to kick it in, and, here they are.
Hasn't happened.
No, they're 5-5 in the last 10. The Pirates have lost 7 out of their last 10. They're back down to 6.5 out. So the Cubs lead Milwaukee, but 2.5 right now. Give the Milwaukee Brewers credit. They stumbled coming out of the All-Star break. They've kind of righted the ship a little bit, so they're hanging. But right now it's the Cubs and Milwaukee, and I guess you still throw in the Cardinals and the Pirates as a possible wild card team down the stretch. In the West, the Dodgers again are just the Dodgers. They've won 9 out of 10, 9 in a row to be exact, and so. They in their division, they're 27-17, which is where you got to win it. And then on the road, a 28-18 baseball team. They're the best in the bigs. They are 75-31, which is incredible.
708 winning percentage.
Yeah.
That is unheard of.
Yes. So, anyway, that's what's going on.
Crazy good.
Yep, we run down the schedule for you, and then we're going to let him talk for just a second about what's going to be going on at the old church house. I know he's got to get going. He's got to feed the eating machine over here and then get going. So, man, he can eat, can he?
He can eat.
He can eat. Oh, hollow leg over there. Look at him. He's grinning. He knows what I'm talking about. How old are you? 18, 19? The man, I talked to his daddy the other day at the picnic. I said, can the boy eat? He said, can the boy eat? He said.
And he's slim.
He said, throw in Luke and Samuel. He said, can the boys eat? That's all I do is go to the grocery store. So, okay. Day games in the National League, Minnesota and San Diego. It's really not fair to sit and talk about the guys not on camera, but that's okay. He's a good kid, and we love him to death. Cincinnati will be tonight again, Game 2 of the series in Pittsburgh. The Nationals in Miami, Dodgers in Atlanta. Tehran's on the mound tonight for Atlanta. Arizona against the Cubbies. Jake Arrieta's on the mound for Chicago in an 8:05 start at Wrigley. Adam Wainwright, an 11-game winner for the Cardinals in Milwaukee. Mets at Colorado, Philadelphia against the Angels in Los Angeles, and Oakland will take on San Francisco. In the American League, a couple of day games, Detroit against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium and a 1:05 start. Toronto first pitch 2:10 against Chicago in Chicago. Minnesota day game at San Diego tonight. Kansas City and Baltimore. Porcello on the mound, only 4-14 for the Red Sox against Cleveland tonight in Fenway. Seattle at Texas. Tampa Bay at Houston. Philadelphia. By the way, Dallas
Keuchel.
9-0 back on the mound tonight for Houston. He's going to go back. He's got to start. Dallas Keuchel. Again, Philadelphia against the Angels and Oakland at San Francisco. You know, for all the hoopla for the Red Sox, I mean, yeah, they're hanging there. They're right in the middle of this thing. They're a half-game leader with the Yankees, but they really kind of sputtered and struggled all year too, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They've not done what anybody expected. You know, I think at the beginning of the season, a lot of people thought that the Red Sox would run away with that division, and they just haven't done it. The Yankees have hung around. Tampa Bay's hung around. And, you know, I like an exciting pennant race, and that's what we're going to see in the American League East.
Absolutely. So tell us, again, I don't know who this is that's supposed to be coming. Oh, that's Haley. I'm sorry. Haley's on his way. Church House, what's going on this Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday, you know, we're getting close to finishing up Ezekiel on Sunday evenings, but we're going to start a new sermon series on Sunday morning called When God Changes Your Name. And we're going to look at all of those instances in the scriptures where a person's name changed, why it changed, and what that means for us. And as we finish up the series in September, which that's when it'll be, we will see how that all applies to us as Christians and how God one day will change our names as well.
So give me some names of Abraham.
Sarah.
So went from Sarai to Sarah.
Their grandson, Jacob.
Oh, Jacob. He went to Israel. Yep. Saul to Paul. Saul Tarsus.
Actually, no.
No?
The scripture does not say who made that change of Saul's name.
Okay.
So we don't know if God changed it or not. There are some that are very surprising, I think, that you will find out about.
So Saul converted to Paul was not done with the Lord.
It's not told us in the scriptures that God was the one who changed his name.
Peter. Okay.
Peter.
I guess you want me to say he's over going. He's talking like Forrest Gump. Peter. Okay, I got you.
I looked at every instance in the scriptures where a person's name changed, and
Solomon. Gotcha.
And there were several where I thought that maybe they would fit in this series, and I could not use them because God did not change their names. Either another person changed their name or they changed it themselves.
All right, so speculation is, who changed Saul to Paul? Himself?
Possibly. Yeah. Don't know.
So that's a new one.
But the scripture does not say that God changed it. So.
See, this guy doesn't farm it in, folks. He does his homework. It's very obvious. So,
but some are surprising. There's some that's going to be there that's surprising, or maybe some that won't be there that'll be surprising as well.
Or not farm it in. He doesn't phone it in. He does his homework. And so, like I said, the Lord's Supper, you need to go back on live stream and watch it, the Sunday morning service on July the 30th. And before we take the Lord's Supper, let him explain why we do it, the attitude we're supposed to have when we do it, and so on and so forth. Very powerful. So, well, that's pretty cool. So we're going to crank it up starting Sunday with some new.
Sunday.
I'm kind of excited. So there you go.
We're going to look at the husband and wife Sunday morning. So we're going to do two of them together. I
know that one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you coming. You hungry?
Yes, sir. Always.
Is the bottomless pit over here hungry? Of course he is.
Always.
Look at him over here. Yeah, oh yeah. So, well, you go through and see Miss Judy, and I'll see you next week.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A in the Crossing in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
We're back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live again here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Johnson City Schools got out half a day, and you can tell because all of a sudden the chicken coop has gotten full here. Chick-fil-A's hopping. And so Haley Wherry is going to be joining us coming up here in just a little while, and so is Karen Hubbs going to join us again from the Goose Chase as we're live here again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We thank you for being with us. And again, want to remind you, we're going to be tomorrow, we're going to be at Champion Chevrolet. And we will, and we'll be hanging out over there again with our buddy. We'll be hanging with our buddy Andy, of course, Andy Dietrich. So let's hit that right there. And yes, they're both going to be on. Karen Hubbs is going to be on too. So first priority?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, I know. So is the chicken coops filling up here too because of, let's see, let's hit that right there. Put those cans on, let's go. Yes, ma'am. Can you do what? You can pull me anywhere you want to pull me, ma'am. It's what? About 5 more minutes. Okay. Is that good? Yeah. So, did we do something wrong? Was our table not adjusted properly?
Brought you a shirt.
There we go. Woo, look here. I like it. Check this out. John 8:12 says, who are you following? John 8:12. Man, I love that. Thank you. On the front, his first priority. Who are you following? Love it. Thank you, sir. Probably the right size too, right?
Excellent. Double X, you said.
2X.
But you're working down to an X.
Working down to an XL. Doing a little weight, working out a little bit. That's good. Who are you following? John 8:12. I love it. Thank you. Hit that bell. All right, by the way, here's our verse of the day out of the book of Isaiah. Would you read that for me, please, sir?
Sure. I am your salvation. Trust in me, and do not be afraid. I am your strength and your song.
There you go. And that's the name of the game, folks. That's who we dedicate the show to, unashamedly. Haley, you see on the screen, is here with us, so let's jump in and go. You've got a big event coming up. First off, tell folks what First Priority is all about, would you please?
Well, First Priority is a ministry that unites churches around middle and high school campuses and then helps empower their students to be missionaries to their school.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Share the gospel. The
There
hope
you
of
go.
Christ in every student is our vision.
That's it. And so you have an event coming up that you want to tell us about.
Well, this weekend is the Tennessee Weekend of Prayer Over Students. So it is the annual call, the first weekend in August every year, for the body of Christ to gather and pray together for the churches or the schools. The teachers, students, administrators, families, everything's involved in the school year. And I got caught up in the very first day of school traffic this morning, so I know it's school's underway, and thousands of students and families that need prayer and need the Lord.
You know, it's not just the students. You make a great point, because, you know, you have parents, grandparents. A lot of kids are being raised with grandparents in different ways, shapes, and forms, not necessarily mom and dad. There's turmoil and stress at home. There's broken up families, and there's this kid staying with this person. And so when that kid walks into the schoolhouse, whether it's a girl or a guy, a lot of times they're carrying a lot of baggage with them from the home life or a lack thereof. So
Yes, sir.
we need to pray for the homes as much as we pray for the kids, right?
Yes. Yeah, there's no place that you could interact with and pray over that impacts more people in your community than the school. Any given day, there are more families and adults, students and adults under the roof of a school than there are in any other place in community.
And the administrators and the
Administrators,
teachers.
teachers.
You know, I mean,
And
it's
one of the most forgotten people are the staff, the lunch
Yeah.
ladies and the guys that empty the trash cans
Custodians.
and mow the yards.
yeah. And those are the ones that are invisible until they don't do their job, until the grass isn't mowed or the trash not picked up, then the phone's ringing. My father used to tell me that all the time, said those people are the ones that deserve the most credit because they're invisible until they don't do their job. And then somebody's raising the roof because there's trash on the field, or the field's not mowed, or there's light burnt out, or whatever. So, yep, a lot of different ways that we can be praying for our students and for the schools in general, because the old saying goes, obviously, people need the Lord. So First Priority is filling in that gap. How many schools you guys are in right now?
We should be in about 20 this year, this coming year. We were in 16 last year. I think we're going to launch in 4 new schools this year.
So this weekend, what's going on this weekend? We're praying
over the schools. There are prayer walks going on all across the state. There are a lot of schools that do not have prayer walks organized, but the prayer walks are, you set a date, either Saturday or Sunday, the 5th or 6th, choose a time to gather, and then you just ask the community to gather with you at that school and pray over it. And so far, I think there's at least 200 schools that I know that are having prayer walks across the state of Tennessee, and there's thousands of schools. So we need lots more people to step up, organize a prayer gathering, and we'd love to see prayer on every campus over the weekend.
Coming up, we're going to hear from Virginia Tech coach Justin Fuente about his 3-quarterback platooning. He's got to find a quarterback, and he's been putting them through the reps. Only the second day of practice in Blacksburg. We're going to hear from Coach Fuente. We're going to hear from Go Hokies. We're going to hear from Butch Jones. He's not happy with his quarterbacks again in Knoxville. They had practice, and he said, too many balls on the ground with our quarterbacks, can't hold on to the ball, so he's not happy. We'll hear from him. And also going to hear in just a few minutes Dana Holgerson, head football coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers, about his first day of practice. Of course, we were up in West Virginia last Monday a week and had over 3,500 views in our show. We were at Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia, so we got a good pocket of West Virginia people watching the show. So I thought, man, it'd be smart putting a little West Virginia on the show every now and then. So Dana Holgerson, again, his thoughts about going into the first full week of practice for the West Virginia Mountaineers, and we'll hear from him coming up here in just a few minutes. Again, we're talking, you see on the camera and on the screen, Haley Wary again with First Priority. So this is this weekend, but it doesn't stop this weekend. We can get involved in different ways all school year long. How can we help you through organization?
Well, first of all, you can pray for the schools. If your school does not have a student outreach event or outreach club, or any kind of ministry that's reaching the school with the gospel, we'd love to help you see something get started there. The schools are a massive mission field. They're unreached, and they're urgent. You need to reach them before they turn 18, or they most likely will go to their grave believing in what they believe and turn 18. So to pray over them, the little bracelet I gave you is the Pray for One bracelets. It's pray for one student, pray for one family, pray for one school. Just a reminder every day to pray. And then we also have some bookmarks, 7 areas of prayer over schools. And you can check out our website. It's pray4studentstn.org. Pray4studentstn.org.
In the movie Facing the Giants, have you seen the movie?
Yes, sir.
Where the guy goes down the lockers and prays for each locker going up and down the hallway. I think that's phenomenal.
There are some principals that have opened the schools up to the people that are praying and have asked to pray over the lockers, pray over the classrooms. So that happens this weekend. It will happen this weekend.
So you know what you could do, because we can pray anytime, anywhere. So we could just say, like right now, every school that has a locker number 18, whoever the kid is in locker 18, we're going to pray for every kid and every school that has locker number 18. They don't know who, I don't know who they are. I don't even know how many schools have a locker number 18, but I mean, that's how he hears our prayers, and that's how broad-based we can be and how specific we can be. But, you know, but again, if you've not seen the movie Facing the Giants, one of the daddies on the team would go down the hall in the movie, and he would stop in front of each locker and pray for each locker, and whoever that student was. Of course, the halls were empty. He didn't know who the kids were, but the Lord knew.
The Lord does. Another great way to do is if you've got a yearbook for the school. The school yearbook has all the students in it, except for the past graduating class or the incoming class, I mean. So to have a yearbook to be able to pray by face and by name over the students that are at that school, by the teachers and administrators, is a really powerful prayer tool too.
He hears them too.
Oh yeah,
hears them all. Obviously,
hears
so
them
well. Somebody would say, "Well, I don't know who Joe Smith is from Chucky Duck High School yearbook." Doesn't matter. Lord knows.
The Lord knows. The Lord knows exactly what they need to.
Exactly. Great stuff. So, website.
Pray4studentstn.org.
All right.
Pray the number 4, students with an S, TN as in Tennessee.org.
Pray for students. Did I get it right?
Students with an S,
right.
TN.org.
Awesome. We'll get you back on real soon. We'll get you on a regular basis. You like them? You feeling good about the Hokies?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward. I'm going to try to stick around and see what Fuente has to say, too.
He's going to be on here in just a few minutes. So we got Karen Hubbs coming up next from the Goose Chase. We'll take a break and we'll do that. And we do appreciate Haley coming by. Thanks for the shirt, man. I'm going to wear that one.
You're welcome.
Who are you following, right?
Yep.
Who do you follow? Is that what it said?
Who are you following?
Who are you following?
Everybody
John
follows
8:12.
somebody.
You got that right.
And the only one that's worth following is Christ.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Smoke that. He nailed it. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live at Chick-Fil-A. School is out. Johnson City schools are out half a day. Some schools haven't gone back yet, and the lobby reflects that, and the drive-thru as well. But here at this Chick-fil-A, they get them in and get them out. They don't mess around. So, quick break. Karen Hubbs joins us next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Glad to be here.
Yep. Give me some taters. Good guy. We'll be right back right after you hear this.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. She is there, obviously. Let's get her on the screen because I got to get her name put in here, too. Tell you what happened. I guess I can go ahead and be full disclosure. First day of school, I take the little one to school, and I come back home and thought, I'm going to sit down for a minute. And I did. And I fell asleep. And so everything is out of kilter today, and I hate being out of kilter. But we're going to do this right here, and she's there, and you can be talking. Good morning, young lady. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well,
watching my name be typed out.
There you go. And bring her over
Look
to
at
the
there.
middle. And
He is a multitasker.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, she's, I guess, man's got to do what he's got to do. Somewhere, Jeremiah Clark, my tech guy, is laughing his head off going, because used to be like this. So, I've gotten better at it. So, anyway, I want to say hello to Grace up in actually, she's down in South Carolina. There's people watching in Kiowa, South Carolina, down at the beach.
Wow, that's awesome.
And here we are in the hills of East Tennessee, and they're down there walking the beach and riding bikes and picking up seashells and having a big time.
But it feels like fall here.
It does feel like fall. Got a little twinge of fall in the air.
The weather's all crazy, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, hello to Grace and Andy and the folks down in Kiowa, South Carolina watching. And so hope they're having a good time. We've got a big event coming up.
We do. We actually got two big events, but yes, we do have a big event.
August the 11th. Love this event because it's all about glow. Tell me about
it. It is. We are working with Mountain States Health Alliance and their HR department, and they have a program, it's their wellness program called Fit for Life, and we have created a race that's it's actually a glow run. It's going to be at 8 p.m. on Friday, the 11th, August the 11th, at the Wellness Center in Johnson City, which is just, a quarter of a mile from here. Mm-hmm. And again, it starts at 8 p.m. We will be lighting up the course, and we're doing an 80s theme slant to it. So we're asking people to dress 80s. We have some costume contests. Will be fun. We will have a DJ, and we have several different food vendors that'll be on site. You'll get tons of glow stuff. Our T-shirts this year actually even glow in the dark, which is pretty neat. Never done that before. So that's what's fun. And everybody that runs the race gets a nice finisher medal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like to have one of those. I'm not even going to run. That's cool. That is really, get that on camera. That is really sharp. Way to go.
Yeah.
5K glow run, the 80s party.
Yeah, so we have, we're involved with the Johnson City Turkey Trot, and every year people have gotten medals for the Turkey Trot, and then, we do a bunch of other races, and we didn't realize the love that people have for a medal. So a lot of the races we do offer medals, and we got some things coming up for next year, which we can talk about later. But August the 11th is Friday, and we anticipate 500 to 600 people doing this race. Which, if we hit over 500, we're in one of the larger races for this area. So.
Wow. That's awesome. And it's growing. This is only the second year. Yeah.
Last year we had 309, and we've already surpassed that.
Blowing that out of the water.
Yeah. And there's going to, like I said, you'll get tons of glow items. So just come and have fun. And it's fun for the whole family. And if you bring a child in a stroller or a pet, dogs, you won't bring a cat. That'd be weird. But I guess you can if you want. But it's fun for the whole family. Mm-hmm. And there'll be activities for all ages there. So come and join it.
The Goose Chase on the screen is the name of her company. Mm-hmm. Now, I do this every time because I'm a big fan of this young lady.
Oh, I'm a big fan of this guy.
And she is a lady of faith. And so you said, I'm going to create a company. I'm going to create an organization, a company that gives honor to the Lord. And so you created the Goose Chase. So tell folks what the Goose Chase is all about. I mean, how did you come up with that name?
Right. Well, we're an event management company, basically. And as you well know, I like to laugh and I like to have fun. Mm-hmm. And so 99% of our events that we do have to deal with fun. We say we bring the fun. But I was reading a book by Mark Batterson, which we've talked about many times, and been wanting to start a business for about 7 years before I actually took that leap of faith, and I didn't know what I would call my business, and read this section in his book, and it was a name that the Celtic Christians use for the Holy Spirit. And he said, well, how fitting is it? And when it's translated, it means wild goose. And he said, how fitting is it when trying to follow God's lead or the Holy Spirit's lead, you're in a wild goose chase. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, man, that's my life. Because in the book, in the passage, it says, you never know who you're going to meet, where you're going to go, what you're going to do. But it'll be anything but boring. And that's pretty much my life. Mm-hmm. So when the light bulb went off, it was sort of set. And we, how you do with brainstorming. At one time, we were the wild goose, and then ended up being the goose chase. And Drew Beamer, which was a gentleman that used to live in our area, worked at Creative Energy, just as a freelancer, toyed around with the idea, came with a really cool design for our logo, and I don't know, it's just been history, and I will tell you that God's blessed me. I might get choked up talking about it, but it's just amazing how I just had an idea, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing half the time, but he keeps on opening doors, and we keep on walking through them and seeing where they take us, and he's just blown me away. So I give him all the glory. And just working with Mountain States has been a blessing. And we had that on the 11th, but then the 12th, Science Hill, their booster club, called us about doing a fundraising golf tournament. So on the 12th, literally we'll be up till probably midnight, and then wake up, crack it on. I'm going to be at Buffalo Valley doing a golf tournament for Science Hill Soccer called Swing for Soccer golf tournament. And so that's happening. And then we have the Bluegrass, and we're doing a race at the river called Goliath of the Gorge, and Scarecrow Skedaddle for Niswonger Children's Hospital, and then of course S'mores Run, and then we end on Turkey Trot, and then we've got some really cool things that we're planning for next year that I can't wait to announce, but we're not to that point yet. But God just keeps on blowing us out of the water, and He takes care of me.
Oh yes, takes care of me too. Takes care of all of us. We let Him.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of people don't let Him. They're going to, as old Frank Sinatra saying, "I'm going to do it my way." We do it your way, it's a train wreck. Am I right?
Been there, done that.
I've been there, done that too. I thought, boy, I don't need the Lord. I can do this on my own. And man, oh man, he just said, "Let me show you how that works." And so I said, "Oh, okay." So yes, this lady's awesome. And of course, she turned me on to. In fact, I'm reading a book, "How to Circle Your Kids and Grandkids in Prayer" by Mark Batterson, which is another phenomenal book. And so he's awesome.
And a neat little story, not a story, but true. I left my former job on August the 7th or 8th. So my 4-year leap of faith birthday is next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
And the lights are still on?
Lights are still on. Sometimes I wonder if they're going to stay on, but they still stay on.
There's food in the fridge. There's hot water coming out of the spigot. There you go.
There is. I'm telling you, if you want to grow as a person, start a business.
That's it.
Is that not the truth?
Amen.
You find out so much about yourself.
Lord, have mercy.
And God stretches you.
Yes. When you go self-employed, it's like, whoo, you're the bottle washer. You do everything, right?
You do.
You collect the bills. You send out the bills. You do everything. But that's okay.
Yeah.
I keep saying, the thing in my office says, anytime I want to quit, just think of all the people who want to see you fail. And there's people out there who want to see you fail. And so today is show number 570 for me. And so people say, it'll never work. Well, it is working. So.
You ever read any books by Darren Hardy?
Mm-mm.
That's a good guy too. I don't know if he's a Christian, but he's got some good content. He used to be the editor for Success Magazine, which is one of my favorite magazines. He's written several books, but one of his books, you know how you like write it, this book's for mom or dad or whatever. He has a book written for all the people that said he couldn't do it. And I'm like, if I ever write a book, it's exactly who I'm going to donate that book to.
Because they said you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I tell you, it's funny when you want to take that leap or want to start your own business or whatever, anything, a leap of anything, how many people come out of the woodworks and try to discourage you?
Oh, absolutely. You can't do that. You know, a lot of people too, Karen, I think they don't want you to do it because they didn't have the guts to try it.
Yeah.
So they want to keep you down because they didn't have the guts to try what you're trying.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of that. But anyway, it's coming up on August the 11th. Again, we can still get signed up. Tell us how we can get signed up for this.
Well, as you know, in the past we've said to go to thegoosechase.org, which you still can do. But, you know, you do all these / and all that, and I said forget that. So just go to this website, summersbestrace.com. Isn't that a great name?
It is, yeah.
It takes you to the Goose Chase, but it's easier to say summersbestrace.com.
So that's where we go to now, right?
For this race.
For this race, yeah.
If something ever happens with this race, that will be going to another race. But
got you. Triggers onto something else.
But right now, this is the best race.
She reminds me of Lucy Carmichael, Carol Burnett. When you get around her, she's always giggling, and you never know what's coming next.
I won't do the Tarzan. Remember she did that Tarzan?
Carol Burnett did Tarzan. Yeah, I got you. No, let's don't do Tarzan.
Well, the last time I was on the show, you wanted me to do. Who was the guy that was his birthday? Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah, Clint Eastwood.
I couldn't do that either.
Go ahead and make my day.
Someone I knew.
Yeah, go ahead and make my day. Good. I appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
You hungry? Get something to eat.
Thank you. Love some Chick-fil-A. I love Connie and Tim.
Yes, they do. They're great ambassadors.
They are.
In this community, absolutely. So, yes, get you something to eat.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I love this lady. I always look forward to her coming. And so we'll get her back on there real soon. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Chick-fil-A. We've got to talk about famous football coach passed away this morning. We'll tell you about that. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you know who I'm talking about. And also, there's a story, I'm not making this up, the National Football League, led by Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboys, wants to implement marijuana usage in the National Football League. Nah. We'll take a break and be right back live at Chick-fil-A and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And also up next, as promised, we'll hear from West Virginia football coach Dana Holgerson here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Wednesday. It's happening here, I can tell you that. It is busy, and that's what we want. Chick-Fil-A is always busy, and we love being part of this every Wednesday because it's rocking and rolling. There we go. Get a little bit better shot here. We got our next guest in, but let's run down some things going on again in the world of sports. On a sad note, if you're a Notre Dame or a college football fan, college football has lost one of its great coaches. Former Notre Dame coach Ara Parseghian has died at the age of 94 after falling ill from hip surgery complications. Again, Parseghian led the Irish to a 95-17-4 record in 11 seasons in South Bend, winning national championships in 1966 and in 1973. So obviously he brought home the national championship, if you will, to the folks in South Bend on two different occasions. Again, so Parseghian also, before that, coached at Northwestern, also his alma mater in Miami of Ohio. So, sad story, of course. Ara Parseghian passing away at the age of 94 with complications from hip surgery. That happened this morning. So, again, funeral arrangements are incomplete at this time, but they will obviously let us know about funeral arrangements at the appropriate time. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. We just got word that Dave Angie can't be with us today. He's got a scheduling conflict, so he cannot be with us. So we'll hope to get him back on either tomorrow or Friday. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet, and Friday we'll be on the road tomorrow at Champion. On Friday we'll be at Food City on Eastman Road in Kingsport. All right, not making this up, true story. This is unbelievable, but it's not really, but it's true. So here we go. The NFL has sent a letter to the NFL Players Association this week offering to work hard hand in hand on a study that looks into the use of marijuana as a pain management tool in the National Football League. Did you hear that? Is that you know who's leading the charge? Jerry Jones. The use of marijuana as pain management in the National Football League. Thank you, sweetie. Is that yeah, and they're actually entertaining it. That's the thing. NFL players will, yeah, we like that. So, but led by Jerry Jones, unbelievable. Thank you, Dare. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, one of the most influential people in all of football, has reportedly advocated for the league to drop its ban on marijuana usage. Jerry's son, Stephen Jones, who acts as the Cowboys' executive vice president, openly stated the system needs to be heavily scrutinized. Former player and current ESPN analyst Randy Moss, who's from West Virginia, played at Marshall. Unfortunately, I guess after I read this, I think the NFL just needs to loosen up the rules and let everybody live. That's from Randy Moss. Well, let me just tell you, and it may not mean a hill of beans to you, but if they start smoking dope, they do it anyway, I think, for all intents and purposes. But they openly and legally start letting them smoke marijuana for the National Football League, I'll never mention them on this show again, nor will I go to a game. I haven't been to one in a long time anyway. But if they start advocating letting them smoke dope as pain pain management tool. And, of course, you may say, well, Tom, you don't know how these guys get hurt, and they're in severe pain, and there's all kinds of pain medications out there, obviously. Players have been hurt for years upon years playing football in the National Football League, and they've never had to reduce themselves to smoke and dope as pain management tool. Anyway, I'm not making this up. I just when I saw this, I got to read this to you and let you hear this because I think it's the craziest thing, or one of the craziest things. But I'm not all that surprised because our society's out of kilter anyway. So, anyway, Jerry Jones, one of the most influential people in all of football, has reportedly advocated for the league to drop its ban on marijuana. Randy Moss says, I think the NFL just needs to loosen up and let everybody live the way they want to live. That's what happens when you have no rules and no parameters and no accountability. Everybody just does what they want to do, and it's kind of the way it is now. The Ten Commandments have kind of been kicked to the curb. Nobody seems to want to follow those. We want to have our own rules, but that's a whole other story for another day. And anyway, the NFL sent a letter to the National NFL Players Association this week offering to work hand-in-hand on a study that looks into the possible use in the future of marijuana as a pain management tool of the National Football League. And I'm sure some of you out there looking, going, what's the big deal? You're just a prude. Well, okay, I am a prude because that is wrong. So, and that's me. All right, Daniel Norris, the update on him. Encouraging news. Norris hoping to toss bullpen sometime during Detroit's current road trip. He played catch from 120 feet last night. He still need to get a couple of rehab appearances under his belt before returning to the rotation. So doesn't look like Daniel Norris out of Johnson City will be ready to return until the second half of August. But again, he played catch last night from 120 feet, which is a good sign that he's getting a chance to throw that ball a little farther and long toss. And so that's good news for Daniel Norris, but still not ready to go back in the rotation as a starter for the Detroit Tigers. NASCAR news. Silly season is upon us now. Kurt Busch may be a guy that's maybe looking for work. Stewart-Haas Racing anticipating that Kurt Busch will drive one of the team's Fords in 2018. But here is the official word coming from Stewart-Haas Racing. We don't comment on contract status, but we expect Kurt Busch back in our Monster Energy Haas Automation Ford in 2018. The team tweet was in response to an NBC Sports story that, citing a source with knowledge of the negotiations, stated the team declined Busch's 2018 contract option. Okay, well then somebody's not coming forth here. Stewart-Haas says we think he'll be back with us, but now they've declined his contract option. Stewart-Haas spokesperson said the team's tweet would be its only official response. The team had until midnight last night to pick up the option, according to NBC, but reportedly informed Busch, the 2004 champion and winner of this year's Daytona 500, that it would not do so, but they expect him back, so I guess they're going to have to change the contract or redo it. So, anyway, his 2018 contract option has gone by the board, so he's not re-signed, so Kurt Busch may be looking for work coming out of that Stewart-Haas Racing team for 2018. Got to brag on my guy for just a minute here. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Gary Taylor's going to be here in a little while. Gary Taylor, again, great guy. We've got that big St. Jude's Putt-Putt tournament coming up tomorrow. That's going to be happening again at the Putt-Putt Golf Course on Stone Drive in Kingsport, and we're looking forward to being over there. I can guarantee you that. So we're going to be there tomorrow doing a little live broadcast for a little while after it gets started, and we'll tell you all about that when Gary gets here. As promised, here's Dana Holgerson, the head football coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers. What's your thoughts going into the first full week of practice in Morgantown? And Dana Holgerson had this to say, the head coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers, on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
I thought we've had a great summer. I want to say that, put that on the record. Mike Joseph and his staff did an unbelievable job. We have better bodies and better numbers. The strength and conditioning numbers are better than they've ever been, and it's not even close. So our guys they look good, they feel good. We spent 4 weeks with them in June. We've already installed pretty much everything, whether it's offense, defense, special teams. Most everything is installed. So just to get out there and execute, we got a lot of technique stuff that we got to work on, but to see the carryover from, having a lot of continuity with coaching staff, fourth year in the defensive system, and then can say first year in the offensive system if you want to, but it's the same stuff that we've been doing over the course of the last 7 years. So a lot of continuity. Guys know what they're doing. They feel good. Just watch them execute and watch what kind of technique that that they play with.
As head football coach Dana Holgers in West Virginia. Coming up, we're going to hear from Justin Fuente of Virginia Tech, and, of course, Butch Jones of Tennessee coming up here in just a few minutes. So, again, Kurt Busch, Stuart Haas Racing, not picking up his contract option. That would tell me he may be looking for work in 2018. And so we'll have to stay tuned for that, as that's, to me, a pretty big story. Guy who wins the 2004 champion and the Daytona 500 champion this season, 2017 Daytona 500 champ. So I would think that's pretty big news, and it is big news. Here's other big news. I want to brag on Jeremiah Clark and Michael Smith from Appalachian Digital. I haven't done it for a while. Here's a company that's working with me on social media. He told me the July numbers are going to really just blow my socks off about this show. And so he takes care of my social media. He's my IT guy. They founded their company back in 2011. They spent several years working exclusively with churches and nonprofits before expanding to include small businesses like mine. That kind of background has given Appalachian Digital a unique perspective on the struggles of small organizations when it comes to developing a modern and competitive online presence without breaking the bank and straining the budget, which is exactly right. So Appalachian Digital would love to meet you, no strings attached, to see if they can help you in sharing your story. You say, well, I'm out of town. That's okay. Go to the website, check out what they've done. They can help. They are helping me. They can help you, I should say. AppalachianDigital.com. Phenomenal group. Two guys that worked their tails off. And, I mean, Jeremiah Clark is the key to this whole thing as far as I'm concerned. He says, well, it's your show. It is my show. But Jeremiah does a great job with everything you see as far as the contest page and the Grip Energy drink on the side, and we're getting ready to do this Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview coming up in a couple of weeks. He's all about putting on some graphics for that, so they do a wonderful job. They can help me, they can help you. AppalachianDigital.com. You do check them out. They do a great job. Before we go to the break, Gary Taylor's here going to talk about putt-putt for a great cause tomorrow night, St. Jude's putt-putt. Hard to believe it's here. We've been talking about it for months, but it's coming up tomorrow at, again, the putt-putt on Stone Drive in Kingsport. Before we go to the break, the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State announcing their kickoff for all their home football games this year on the new on-campus stadium. The lid lifter against Limestone College at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. Then everything else going to be in the day. The Citadel, 1 o'clock. Mercer, 3:30. Homecoming against Robert Morris in October, 3:30. The Wofford Terriers come to town Halloween weekend. That kickoff's at 1. And November the 4th, the wrap-up against VMI is a noon kickoff. So that's East Tennessee State announcing kickoff times for home football games, and everything with the exception of the first game ever in the stadium, Limestone College at 7 o'clock. Everything else is going to be day games, kickoffs at the new stadium that's yet to be named as a corporate sponsor. They're working on it, but they don't have the name as of yet, who it's going to be named or what's going to be named, the new football stadium. By the way, they're getting ready to do more tours coming up August the 10th for another update where you can put on a hard hat and walk through and see the progress of the stadium, which is pretty cool. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. He's here. Also, as we said, coming up, we're going to hear from Justin Fuente, head football coach of the Virginia Tech Hokies. We're also going to hear from Butch Jones, University of Tennessee head coach, of course. All that and more. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City. But up next, putt-putt for a great cause. Gary Taylor joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old US of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A. There it is. 2 weeks from tonight, the UNOH 200. Ben Kennedy back to defend his crown in the Chevrolet truck on the UNOH 200, the Camping World Truck Series, and also the Bush's Beans 150. 2 weeks from tonight, Eric Goodell, again the returning champ of that race from a year ago. And of course, you can win tickets to those two races. TomTaylorSports.com/contest, and then of course the 25th anniversary of the Food City 300. Dale Jr. is going to be in town. Austin Dillon's the defending champ of the race. And so all you got to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com. We got 7 states for the qualifiers now. And /contest, no purchase necessary. We'll announce it a week from Friday. We'll have multiple winners. And so very excited about that. Let's, before we get into Gary Taylor coming by here, and we appreciate him coming, I want you to watch this video and listen to it. It's pretty cool. It's about Dale Jr. coming back to Bristol. Check out the picture of a young Dale Jr. sitting on a tire watching his dad race, the late Dale Sr., at Bristol Motor Speedway. Check out this is a great promo for this race, and check it out right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Final lap for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Bristol is special to me because I've been going there since I was a little kid. I remember watching races on top of old vans and stuff from the infield with my buddies, and wishing I was out there and wondering what it would be like to eventually race on the track one day.
There's a lot of things that change over time. One of the things that doesn't change is Bristol.
And here's Dale Earnhardt going by his son to take over the 8th position.
160,000 here in Bristol on their feet. Heavily partisan crowd at a place where his father had so much success. And tonight, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is here after winning the night race at Bristol.
Welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. It's billed as the last great Coliseum, and this place lives up to the hype.
The racing there is the standard for short track racing.
Look at Junior getting a great start.
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
Hell yeah! Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the Sharpie 500 at Bristol.
And this is one of the biggest wins in my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
Great promo again. I got to give props to the folks again one more time at Bristol Motor Speedway. That is awesome. And again, tell you, good stuff, no question. Gary's with us. Gary's a big fan of NASCAR. Of course, he's coming to town, Dale Jr., the final race, and it's selling tickets. Not while you're here, but you're a big NASCAR fan. You've been to every single Bristol race. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, every one of them. I started going when I was about 7 years old, and I've not missed a race since then. That's my wife knows that 2 weekends out of the year I'm gonna be at Bristol, so don't plan anything then because I won't be at home. So.
Well, she knows where you are too, though, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You're at the track having a big time. So, yep. And of course, as we told you, you go to TomTaylorSports.com and again get those tickets and be ready to go. There we are. I want to get him on the screen here. Let's pull it over here. Gary Taylor, St. Jude's Putt-Putt Tournament. We're live here again at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. So, read the story when you first got here. Kurt Busch, they didn't extend his contract at Stewart-Haas Racing. Is that they said they anticipate him being back next year, but the deadline to extend his contract came and went. So what's that mean?
Well, I was listening to Sirius Radio yesterday when it broke, and they were talking that they may just want to restructure his contract so that they can have some more money, maybe to put a bigger driver in Danica's car was the talk yesterday. They talking maybe Matt Kenseth going in the 10 car yesterday. So Kurt had a 4-year deal, I believe, a 4 or 5 year deal, and this is the option year. So they may want to restructure that and spread the money out a little bit.
Where's Danica going, you think?
I would say she'll going into the yoga and bakery and that kind of business.
Yeah.
Danica's a good driver. She just had a lot of bad luck, and but I think she could run up front. She's probably getting the less of the four cars coming out of Stewart-Haas, I would think, right now.
So she's in trouble.
I think so.
Casey Kane?
I don't know who they'd put in Casey's car. They may keep him for another year and then put William Byron in that car, I think, maybe a year on down the road. So Casey's a good driver, but he's off and on, it seems to be. And he may not be getting the best of the Hendrick equipment either, but he ran a good race at Indy and did a good job and raced his heart out. You could tell when he got out of the car that he was wore out.
Talking to Gary Taylor, big NASCAR guy. So, yeah, explain that to folks, because not everybody would understand that even though you're on the team, you don't always get the best stuff. And in the Hendrick camp, you got Jimmy Johnson, one of the all-time greats, obviously, if not the greatest ever. Well, the King's still the greatest, but Jimmy Johnson, certainly one of the greatest drivers ever in NASCAR. Dale Jr., we know that story. Chase Elliott, up and coming, should be a phenomenal guy when it's all said and done. And you got Casey Kane over here, so when you say he doesn't always get the best equipment, folks may not understand that not everybody on these teams are on an even field as far as equipment. And Casey Kane's probably out there by himself and not getting as good a stuff as the other guys, right?
I would think so. I mean, if they got 4 engines to pick from, Jimmy Johnson's going to get the best. Junior's going to get good equipment. Chase Elliott's the up-and-coming guy. He's the future, so, Casey's the odd man out in that case, the way I see it. And that's kind of the way Danica probably is at Stewart-Haas Racing as well.
The argument is Danica Patrick's been putting good equipment. She's been GoDaddy, threw a lot of money at her. Now this Nature's Baker, of course, it blew up, and she got Aspen Dental. But the argument is that she just can't drive. She's a nice lady, a very marketable, obviously good-looking young lady, but behind the wheel, at this point in her career, should have done better than she's done. At least be competitive, at least a top 10 driver every now and then, which I don't think it's been far and wide since she's even been in the top 10. So, argument that she can't drive, true or false?
I think that's false. I mean, I think she's maybe a little above average, but in NASCAR, you've got to be, if you're going to be in the top 10, you've got to be a superior driver. You've got to be able to carry the car every now and then. You're not always going to have the best race car, but the people that are up front carry their cars a lot of times, and I just don't think that she's able to do that.
Yeah, we're talking to our buddy Gary Taylor. No relation, but he's a brother in Christ, and so I have the utmost respect for him and his brother. Love them both, and we go back a ways, and good peeps. You've been a NASCAR fan for a long time, so we're going to get into St. Jude's here in a second. That's why you're here, but he's it's like a walking encyclopedia about NASCAR. So do you like where the sport's at now? If you had to grade it A, B, C, or D, where do you think NASCAR is right now?
I would probably give it a B. I think there's a lot of good racing. There's a lot of good talent. I think there's not the personalities you had when you had Dale Earnhardt Sr. and I like David Pearson, Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, the Allisons, the Bakers. You just don't have those kind of personalities now. It's a lot of bland racing, and but I think the stage racing has helped some during the intermediate parts of the race. It's given them an incentive now to race and get points to carry with them into the chase. So I think the racing is good. I'm a little disappointed in some of the crowds I'm seeing. I don't know why the crowds have fallen off at some of the tracks, but I'm sure at Bristol there's going to be a great crowd, because that's one of the best racetracks, and this is Dale Jr.'s last night race. So
yep, he'll be there on that Friday night. We're giving away tickets. We got multiple winners, by the way. It's not just one pair of tickets. We got several pairs of tickets to give away for both the truck races and the truck race on Wednesday, which is 2 weeks from tonight, and of course the Food City 300, 25th anniversary of that race coming up. What do we say? We are T-minus 16 days away from that particular race as well. All right, last question. We'll get on to St. Jude's. You're running NASCAR. You're the head dog. What would you do? Give me a couple of things you would do differently to spice it up, bring back the crowds, whatever you feel like needs to be done. I'm going to give you blank check. Do whatever you want to fix NASCAR. What would you do?
I would continue with the stage racing, but and put a good incentive in there for the stage points. But after each stage, I would invert maybe the top 10 guys then, and then see, they got to race their way back. They're not going to be up front. It don't matter how their pit stop is. If you started first, you're going to start 10th in the next stage. I go to the Kingsport Speedway, and I see them inverted in qualifying, and that's the guy that's the fastest qualifier is the guy you watch. If he starts 6th place, he's the guy that you want to keep your eye on. So
that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
I don't know if you can see his shirt, Finding a Cure St. Jude's, which is why he's here. And so we got this putt-putt coming up tomorrow night, the St. Jude's putt-putt, Stone Drive, Kingsport. Weather's going to be great. Benny Wilson, Ivy Road, Asylum Suite are going to be the groups there. Kind of give us an overview. This is, of course, he's here representing the Gold Wing Riders Association, Tennessee Chapter C. This is going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to be over there myself. We're going to do a little broadcasting here tomorrow night. So tell us about the 8th annual putt-putt tournament for St. Jude's.
Well, it'll be starting at 5 o'clock at 346 West Stone Drive. This is put on with the Gold Wing Chapter and Dan Estes, who owns the putt-putt course. It's $25 per person to play, $100 for a team. Every dime that we raise from the food on has been donated. Dan shuts down the putt-putt course for the night, donates it. Food City's bringing in some food, but every bit of the food, all the putt-putt, every dime that we make tomorrow night will be going directly to St. Jude. We'll, in the past, we've raised anywhere from $18,000 to $22,000. We'll be taking a check to St. Jude's September the 8th. We'll leave Bristol. It's called Wings Across Tennessee. We'll be driving down. Anyone's welcome to go with us. We'll be leaving from the Indian dealership in Bristol at 9 o'clock on the 8th. We've raised money all year long. We had a spaghetti dinner at a church about 2 weeks ago. We did a fundraiser at the Muddy Creek ATV and motorcycle races. So hopefully we'll be in from this group we'll be able to take over $40,000 down this year. So that's our goal for this year.
That's strong. That's impressive. Now tomorrow night there's food. All that food's been donated. You come buy a hot dog or a hamburger or whatever's out there on the grill. All that goes into the pot. There's a 50-50 table. Tell me about that.
Well, we'll have 50-50. You can buy tickets, and the more people that get in on the 50-50, the higher the pot is. So we normally have $700 or $800, and we'll give away $300 or $400 to the lucky winner on the 50-50. We'll also have a lot of silent auction prizes there that Tom and I will try to beat each other on. So we've had a lot of gift certificates from area restaurants. We've got a Pat Summit signed national championship hat from 2008 that was donated to us. That'll be in the silent auction. So,
wow.
A lot of times we have footballs signed by NFL stars, baseballs, a lot of items to bid on.
Donna, Gary Taylor, you see on the screen the St. Jude's Putt-Putt Tournaments tomorrow night in Kingsport. You know, not everybody can play golf, but gosh, Gary, everybody can come out and play putt-putt. It's for a great cause. You don't have to be good at it. Of course, it is a tournament, but registration starts at 5. The tournament starts at 6. $25 a person. Team is $100, obviously, a 4-man captain's choice team. So the music's going to be there. Looks like the weather's going to be great. So it's all for a fantastic cause. And you have been to St. Jude's, and you have told me in past interviews that there's between 85 and 90 kids up here in our neck of the woods using St. Jude's either in Memphis in the big hospital or the St. Jude's at Nicewanger Children's Hospital. So either way, they're using them. Unfortunately, they have to go, but thank God that St. Jude's is there at either location for these families and these kids to use the facility. So you've been there, and you've told me once you see St. Jude's, the one in Memphis, it changes you, right?
Yeah, it's like I said before, I went down there just for the ride the first time I went, but after that I got involved in it. You see where the money's going, you see the families. It's a great place to be. It's the best, in my opinion, the best hospital in the world. They don't charge anybody anything. They'll feed you, they'll put you up, they'll pay for your gas to come down there. There's no expense. You never get a bill from St. Jude. So it's a research hospital. They do a lot of research. But the research they do, they share it, and something that they find that they're working on for the kids may benefit me or Tom at some point in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So and you're welcome to go with us. You can take a tour of the hospital on September the 9th. Just give me a call at 239-3406 or 306-5415, and I can give you the particulars. We'll be leaving here on the 8th, staying in Dixon on the 9th, and then going on down to St. Jude's at noon on the 9th. But if you go one time, your heart will be in the place that you'll want to do all you can for St. Jude.
You got it. Tomorrow night, you want to get there but early because there'll be a crowd, won't there?
There'll be a big crowd. We're anticipating a big crowd. Looks like the weather's going to cooperate, not too hot, and only about a 20% chance of rain. So we'll come on out, eat with us, listen to Benny Wilson and Ivy Road. They're a wonderful band. They do this out of the goodness of their heart. Dan Estes does a great job. He works all year long for this one night, getting ready for this putt-putt tournament.
It's near and dear to his heart, too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So everybody wins. We have a good time over there, get to play a little putt-putt, see a bunch of folks, try and win some silent auction items. Gary and I, in years past, have kind of duked it out trying to win some of the silent auctions. A couple of years you've won. A couple of years I've won. I beat you out.
Yeah.
And so what Gary does, I watch him. I've kind of caught on to him. There's a system in place now. He'll kind of circle the tables, and everybody gets a number, of course, a silent auction number. And I'll put down a number, and then I'll watch him, and he'll do a little cat and mouse, and he'll go out and kind of meander around and swoop back through and rebid, trying to outbid me, and then I'll kind of walk up the table and do the same thing. So we kind of look at each other, and are you bidding? No, I'm not bidding. You bidding? No, I'm not bidding. We know we're lying because we go watch you do it. So it's pretty cool, but it's all for great cause. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And the 50-50 table, and, of course, the food's donated, and, of course, the music. Benny Wilson, I've said this since we started promoting this tournament. he does Brown Eyed Girl, to me, better than Van Morrison, the originator of the song, does it. So Benny's been around for a long time, puts on a great show. Ivy Road, Asylum Suite. And so really, even if you don't even play putt-putt, you want to hear some good music, come over and get dinner. When you buy the hamburger, hot dogs, and all the fixings, again, all that's been donated. So 100% goes into the pot to help these kids at St. Jude. So it is a no-brainer to be a part of this.
Yeah, it's a big social event in Kingsport. So come on out and join us, eat, listen to music, and play a little putt-putt and socialize, and just do a little bidding on some nice prizes, and buy some 50-50 tickets with a chance to leave there with some extra money in your pocket.
You got it. And I want to say thanks to the Gold Wing Riders Association, Tennessee Chapter C. They're behind this, and so they do a phenomenal job. Tom Jane and Gary and all the other folks that make up the organization, they work lots and lots of hours behind the scenes to make this happen. So, and the proof's in the pudding. In years past, you raised, $20,000-$25,000 in one night, right?
Right. This is our big event of the year. All year long we do smaller events, but this is our number one money raiser for St. Jude. So.
Last question: who's going to win Bristol? Harvick going to repeat?
I think it'll be Logano.
Oh, really?
He's got to have a win to get in. So I think
pressure's on.
He'll do it. Yeah.
What about my man Kyle Busch?
Is he still your man? He hadn't won in a year. Oh, yeah, he won last week, didn't he? That's right.
Is he still your man? Yeah, he is.
Do you drop the microphone like he does? Or You're not his PR guy, are you?
No.
Okay.
I love the guy, but I think his, win with class and lose with class. When you get beat, you have a bad day, don't throw a temper tantrum, just go to the house and, do like my other guy before he retired. I used to love Terry Labonte because whether he finished first or finished last, he was the same.
Yeah.
His demeanor was the same.
Yeah.
Just as steady as you go.
The ice man.
Yep. And Kyle's like this, and Joe Gibbs told me up here one time that he and his wife Samantha do more behind the scenes for Make-A-Wish kids and all that, but he likes that rowdy image and he plays it well. But I like him as a driver, but don't necessarily like him off the track and the way he conducts himself when things don't go his way, because you can't win everything, right?
No, and I, like you said, I was able to go to the church service chapel with the drivers one day, and Kyle Busch and his wife were the only one in chapel, and that made me think better of him. But then that was one side, and then about an hour later I was listening on the scanner and heard the other side. So.
Peppered with expletives, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, he can burn up an in-car audio, no question.
Woo!
On the scanner. Anyway, we're going to be there tomorrow night having a big time. Can't thank you enough for coming over here. I know you're busy. You're going to be over there all day tomorrow, setting up and getting it ready. So, for me to shoot well tomorrow, what color? You have different color putt-putt golf balls. Which one do you think I should get tomorrow to increase my chances of doing good?
Hey, can
you talk? Can't? Okay.
I don't think it'll make any difference, Tom. It's like
Daniel, come right here. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you one question. I'm playing putt-putt tomorrow night, okay? What color golf ball should I do to play? Because I'm god-awful. The other day I went and shot a 94 in putt-putt. So what color, there they are, what color golf ball should I pick tomorrow night to He says it won't make any difference.
Closest thing to crimson, because we win.
There you go.
Was that Nick Saban?
That's Nick Saban. That's Daniel Saban from Chick-Fil-A. All right. So, what do you think about Tennessee football?
Well, I hope they do well. They got a lot of tough. They got a 3-week start there with 3 games in 13 days. I'd like to see them come out of that 3-0, but I think that's going to tell the tale. If they can beat Georgia Tech, they may start out good. But I think another 8-4 season, Butch will be at Ole Miss or somewhere next year. So.
Well, it's funny you said that because a couple of my Florida buddies said, well, they're already making excuses down in Knoxville. Now they're saying there's 3 games in 13 days, and so if they don't do well, they can use that as an excuse. Last year, it was the injuries. This was a Florida guy. I said, what do you mean? He said, Well, who made the schedule? He knew what the schedule was, so if he didn't want to play 3 games in 13 days, he should have told somebody to change the schedule. So he said, they're already got an escape clause if they don't do well. And I thought, well, okay. So
I hope we don't have to use that excuse this year. So.
Oh, I appreciate you coming by, man. Awesome.
Thanks.
I love this guy. Oh, yeah, he's class act. Quick break. We'll be right back. And speaking of, we will hear from Tennessee coach Butch Jones next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Appreciate him so very much, Gary Taylor. What a class act. So, as promised, here is Butch Jones. And let's bring him up. And Coach Jones, again, let's get his take as his talking about the quarterbacks just in practice in Knoxville. The Tennessee quarterbacks, he's not having put a lot of footballs on the ground. And so here's Butch Jones about his first couple days of practice with the Tennessee football team here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
I've had a really, really productive day. Liked our mindset, the way we came out. It's probably the best practice number 3 we've had, but a lot of work to do. And it's a fine, everything is about turnover margin. And it's a fine line between winning and losing. And today I really liked the way our defense swarmed to the football. I like them hunting the ball and the ball disruptions, but as an offense, we had way too many turnovers, way too many balls on the ground, and you're not going to win very many games turning the football over. But on the flip side, I thought our defense did some good things. But again, tomorrow's key to our football team to see our consistency. Can we come out and match the intensity that we had tonight? And that's going to be critical for our leadership to demand that out of our players. But I thought productive. The speed of the game, it's still going fast for some individuals that you would expect. Now it's just constant growth and evolution of this team.
Again, that was Tennessee head football coach Butch Jones here on the show, again talking about his quarterbacks, and went on to say not pleased at all with the fact they both put it on the ground. They're getting some live snaps now, and so not really excited about what they were doing in the first couple of days of practice, but it's early and they're both untapped. Of course, Dobbs is gone, so they need to find a new quarterback, and so it's going to take, it's a work in progress. Same thing up at Virginia Tech. We're going to hear from Coach Fuente in a minute about he's trying to get one of the three quarterbacks up there ready to go for their start of their season against West Virginia coming up in early September at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. So, but as I was telling Gary, I've already heard some of the anti-Tennessee people saying, well, they're already starting to make excuses because Tennessee's got 3 games in 13 days. And so one of my buddies, a big Alabama fan, said, well, doesn't he have any kind of control over the schedule? He could have told him he didn't want to play 3 games in 13 days. He said he has input on his schedule, you would think. So he said, Tennessee's already making excuses. So if they don't do well, they can fall back on, well, we had 3 games in 13 days. So, of course, that's coming from an Alabama fan. So it runs deep, to say the least. But anyway, that's what's out there, and some playful ribbing, I guess, being done by both sides right now. I know the Tennessee fans are all over Nick about what he's going to do with this big boy got caught for DUI last Saturday, and usually, according to the Tennessee fans, not much discipline's displayed by the Alabama coaching staff and the players get in trouble. So it goes back and forth. That's what it's all about. And of course, college football practice is very much up and running now. We told you about the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. Their home game's been announced. Everything's day games except the opening game of the new stadium against Limestone College on September the 2nd. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. Speaking of, there's another set of tours coming up on Thursday, August the 10th, a week from tomorrow. The tours, which are free and open to the public, will be held at noon and at 5 o'clock next Thursday. If you want to go see the progress of the stadium, and it's really taking shape. They're doing a great job. People are required to wear hard hats and closed-toed shoes. Hard hats will be provided on site. And so season tickets currently on sale starting at $100. You can call the ticket office at East Tennessee State at 439-3878. 439-3878 is the number to call for season tickets for the Buccaneer football team for 2017. Hey, coming up on Friday, we're going to be live at Food City on Eastman Road on a Food City Friday. The sale paper's out today, and they've got some great deals going on, again, all week starting today through next Tuesday. Some buy one, get one frees. Check these out. Kay's Ice Cream. Hot weather, we've got it today. You better believe it. Kay's Ice Cream, buy one, get one free. Kern's Sandwich Bread, 20-ounce loaf. Buy one, get one free. Terry's Potato Chips. That's one of those exclusive brands of Food City. Buy one, get one free. Also, you have Powerade, 32-ounce Powerade, buy 10, get 5 free at Food City. Also, they have coming up, look here, the Red Ripe Seedless Watermelon. Got to give me one of those today for $3.99 at your local Food City. Also, Food City Fresh Ground Round, 85% lean, ground round, $3.99 a pound with your Food City value card. And sweet cantaloupes, buy one, get one free out of the produce department, again, through Tuesday of next week. Again, that is awesome. Again, the cantaloupes and watermelons go down easy when they come from Food City, and so they got them on sale, $3.99, and also buy one, get one free. And the cantaloupes and the seedless watermelons are $3.99 again at your local Food City. So let's run down the baseball schedule one more time before we hear from Coach Fuente. He's going to join us again from the Virginia Tech Hokie Camp as they continue to get ready for their season opener against the West Virginia Mountaineers, and we're going to hear from him coming up here in just a second. Let's again run down the baseball schedule. We have a couple of day games going on in the American League. Detroit and New York at Yankee Stadium, 1:05 first pitch. Toronto at Chicago this afternoon. Minnesota at San Diego this afternoon. Under the lights, Kansas City at Baltimore. Cleveland continues their series in Boston against the Red Sox. Seattle at Texas. Tampa Bay at Houston. Philadelphia at L.A. against the Angels. And Oakland against San Francisco. In the National League, tonight under the lights, Cincinnati continues their series in Pittsburgh against the Pirates. Washington and Miami, the Dodgers and Atlanta. Tehran's on the hill tonight for Atlanta at 7-9 on the season. Arizona at Chicago. Jake Arrieta is going to be on the hill for the Cubbies at 10-7. Adam Wainwright with a record of 11-5 for the Cardinals against Milwaukee tonight. You also have the Mets in Colorado. As we said, Philadelphia in L.A. against the Angels, and Oakland at San Francisco in Major League Baseball. As promised, here's head football coach of the Virginia Tech Hokies, Justin Fuente, again platooning 3 quarterbacks. As you know, his quarterback left to go early to the National Football League. And so he has between Josh Jackson, A.J. Bush, and Hendon Hooker are the 3 quarterbacks, again, vying for the starting job for the Virginia Tech Hokies. And here's head coach Justin Fuente talking about getting not 1, not 2, but 3 quarterbacks ready for the upcoming college football season in Blacksburg for the Hokies.
There's not much more we can do from what we did last year, and having been through several of these just in our career, you try to put them in as many situations as possible, test their retention and their ability to operate under pressure the best you can. There's still no substitute for experience, but we've got a good plan to get them out there and get them reps and get them evaluated and try our best to make a good decision.
Just get them ready, taking those reps and trying to get them ready to go against West Virginia. And, of course, that rugged ACC schedule they got coming up at Hokie Nation in Blacksburg. Here it is, Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. It's a Blue Lizard day. Let me pull it back, and there it is. The smart bottle technology, when the cap turns blue, that tells you there's UV light out there. Water resistant for up to 80 minutes. Again, Blue Lizard. Zinc oxide formula, available at all Walmarts. Of course, Food Cities also available again at CVS pharmacies. Again, we were up in West Virginia last week and stopped on the way out of town and want to make sure it was there, and it was. Blue Lizard and Walmarts, and also CVS pharmacies. Of course, Walgreens here locally, and of course our great sponsor, Food City. Blue Lizard, Australian sunscreen, 30+ SPF. Again, water resistant. This is the full body protection for active people. Then also the other one we want to tell you about is the one that is for your face. Now, this is a gel formula. Ladies put this on, and then they can put their makeup on top of that. Guys can put this on after they shave. Blue Lizard, specially formulated for daily use to provide effective UV protection. It is a gel, no oils, no parabens, no fragrances, 8% zinc oxide. It is dermatologist recommended. SPF 30+, broad spectrum UVA and UVB. Again, this is the face. You can see right there in the middle. There's also one baby. There's one for sensitive skin, and the one we told you that everybody's using now because of the folks out there fishing and swimming, Blue Lizard Sport. And so my finger's in the way, but it says water resistant for up to 80 minutes. So you can apply it in almost for an hour and a half where you have to reapply. Again, the Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen made right here. We were there the last 2 days at the Crown Laboratories in South Johnson City. And so, by the way, I want to say thanks to Raven Botts and Libby and Tina and Shelley, and of course Jeff came by, the founder and president and CEO of Blue Lizard. Love promoting this product, and it's made right here in the Tri-Cities and shipped all over the country and now all over the world. They're into 6 countries and continue to expand the product line into other countries. So pretty cool stuff. And so we appreciate the folks very much again at Blue Lizard. And again, it's available, as we said, all over the place, including right here in East Tennessee, in Georgia, in Kentucky, and Virginia at all the 134 Food City stores. So good stuff. We appreciate them very much. We are going to wrap this thing up. I do want to say thanks to our guest today. We heard from West Virginia football coach Dana Holgerson. We heard from Virginia Tech coach Justin Fuente. We heard from Tennessee coach Butch Jones. We heard, of course, from Greg Salyer, the Major League Baseball update. We heard from Haley Wary, again, with First Priority, which is an awesome organization. We heard from Karen Hubbs, again, the Goose Chase. And again, SummersBestRace.com, that Glow race coming up on August the 11th, which is a week from this weekend. And so thanks to Karen Hubbs. So all these folks came by here. And, of course, we wrap up show number 570. Tomorrow, 571 from Champion Chevrolet. Got a full slate of folks. Dave Onge cannot get by today. He's going to be with us tomorrow. Again, at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, along with Andy Dietrich and Kristen Martin. And got a whole slew of folks, Carmichael and Kevin Harmon, coming in talking Tennessee football. And we're going to really get into promoting the upcoming and soon to start Champion Chevrolet. It'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow, the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview show. And so we'll do that tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so we'll be at Champion tomorrow. Then on Friday, we'll be at Hub Store, Food City on Eastman Road in Kingsport for the Tom Daly Sports Show on Friday. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, you can go back and watch this show anytime. Share it and like it. Like it and share it. We'd appreciate that. And again, anytime you can go there 24/7, 2 in the afternoon or 2 at night or 2 in the morning. Go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest and register for these tickets to get to the Food City 300, Dale Jr.'s last Friday night race at Bristol in the Xfinity Series. And, of course, 2 weeks from tonight, somebody's going to win tickets, going to put them in the seats for the UNOH 200 Camping World Truck Series race and the Bush's Beans 150, the Wheeling Modified race. Eric Goodell won this race. Ben Kennedy won this race. A year ago, Austin Dillon won this race. And, of course, the hat that we have on with the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, you can see here, won there by Kevin Harvick last year in a Chevrolet. All 4 races won by the official car manufacturer of Bristol Motor Speedway, and that, of course, would be the Bow Ties Chevrolet. So, hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, thanks to Chick-Fil-A. Back in the saddle tomorrow. We're going to be live at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City. Until then, and for all the guests and for Connie Larimer, the marketing lady, and, of course, the owner of the store, Tim Birchfield, this is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, win or lose. Oh, thanks to Gary Taylor. I left him out from St. Jude's. Talking about the putt-putt tournament. How can I leave him out? But one of our guests. Want to squeeze it in. It's not fair to Gary not to tell you that he was one of my guests. Win or lose, be a good sport. We'll see you tomorrow from Champion Chevrolet. So long, everybody, and have yourselves a great Wednesday.